Hey, hey, hey. It's the 12 days of streaming, day 5 for me, day 10 for Dean, something like that. Who knows? He streams every day. But it's me, your boy, High Five Vega, joined as always by the man who never sleeps, Car Audio's own Chris Kringle, the man who once said, the Emperor is not as forgiving as I am. It's Dean. It's your boy, Dean. What's up, Dean?
I think it's the other way. I got to be honest with you on that one. I'm pretty sure I know a couple people that'll argue with you about that. I'd much rather be in a room with the Emperor than be in a room with you. Jesus. Um, yeah. One starts with an H and the other one starts with an S. Yeah. I'll be like, no, I don't think so. But no, it's going, man. You know, we're getting part of that northeast cold snaps coming through here in Florida.
Yeah, dropped y'all down to 60s, huh?
Yeah. Oh, dude, 59. 59. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's basically, we're right there with them. We're right there with them.
Yeah, you feel their pain.
I totally feel their pain. I mean, you got to, okay, so, I mean, look at it like this. So, we've thought about this a lot. We have time on our hands. When it's 90 here, okay, it doesn't go down to like 70 at night. You don't see that big 20-degree shift. When it's 90, it may go down to 85. Like you guys, when it's 90 at nighttime, it actually will like cool down. So you guys are like, oh, damn, I'll bring a jacket tonight. So when our temperature fluctuates, we're not used to this. Like it's 75 in the day and then 59 at night. We don't know how to deal with that. That's not even like we're lost.
Yes, we have the worst of both worlds because in the summer it's blistering.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
the humidity is bad here, but it's not like Florida. I'll give you guys that. The humidity in Florida is its own thing.
Which is good though, but it keeps us nice and moist. Like right now we're dry. It's like,
yeah. God. Oh, I know. I've been having to lotion up, man. My hands are starting to crack. It's not a good sign.
You and Fernando over there, like you're just like, ooh, I'll rub you, you rub me, lotion, lotion, lotion. Real men don't use lotion.
It puts the lotion on its skin. I do have
deep cut,
a nice poll.
All right, let's see the poll.
You're gonna like this poll. Let me share the screen here. It says, if Dean didn't get into the car audio industry, what would he be right now? Would you like me to read you the options? So the one option was in the lead at the beginning, but we'll just go from the lead to the least.
Okay.
The number one is a well-regarded, and I will say that you would be, in my opinion, very good at any of these. A well-regarded photographer. That's got 34% of the vote.
Okay.
The number two thing is a serial killer.
Yeah. All right. I'm still there.
The number three thing is other, and we'll get to the comments in a second and see what they thought. Number four is a TV ad man, like Mad Men.
Oh, yeah. Total dream.
And then the number five, a wealthy businessman.
Probably the most least likely. Least likely.
So I think it went pretty well. Serial killer was leading, and I think you would be a very good serial killer.
I've thought about it.
You're motivated. You're organized. You're a likable guy, dude. You could be so much better than Dexter.
Yeah, but he had the best job.
Yeah,
he could hide all that. He'd be better than Dexter. Okay. Goofy at Disney World. Way too short. Maybe Mickey Mouse, but Goofy guy's like 7 feet tall, man. He'd be in the home audio industry. That was a thought there for a while because there was a time back in the 90s where I was like all into home audio. He'd be making ping pong tables for a living. I did do a lot of woodworking, so exposing himself for a living. No, that's definitely not going to happen because I'm not that guy. World's oh geez. Nope, not a gigolo in a nursing home. Definitely not. I'm not into TV dinners. Only thing is much is car audio, Star Wars. So yeah, that would be cool to work something in Star Wars, but not anymore.
A sailor.
No, my buddy was in the Navy, and he's like, dude, come join. I was like, no, that's not my thing. Weatherman. Ooh, I did take that class in college.
Oh man.
Stay-at-home dad. I get way too antsy, but not to work at Disney World. That's always been a thought. Man with two good index fingers. You got Walmart greeter. That's the dream job right there. Let's be honest. Everyone wants that. Lunch lady. No, I suck at cooking. Um,
Yeah.
so
I could imagine how Haley would turn out if you were just a stay-at-home dad the entire time she was a child.
it would have been different because I mean, we typically had Sundays together. That was, it only took me, like 17 years to figure out, hey, we should film this. But when she was a baby, like 2, 3, 4, whatever, I don't sleep in, as big shocker there. So what I would do is I would get her up and I'd throw her in the truck because at the time I had a Dodge Ram. I'd let Sue sleep in because Sue dealt with her a lot during the week. And her and I would go to like McDonald's, and that's when McDonald's used to have playlands. Remember those?
Yeah.
And so we'd hit the
hill.
Yeah, well, no, they got rid of the ball pets by then because let's be honest, it's way, But we go to
the 80s.
Yeah. But we would go hang out and we would do the playland, and then so we'd spend the whole morning together. We'd eat breakfast, we'd do playland, and then by noon we'd be done and we'd go back and we'd pick up soon. We get on with our day. But there was this one place here that was called Kids Kazoo. And it was a giant indoor playland that you paid a membership to belong to. And you could go with your kid. And so I had Wednesdays off back when I only worked 5 days a week. What the hell? And so her and I'd pick her up and we'd go there. And she'd go to daycare for in the morning because I'd have like stuff to do because it's my day off, and I'd pick her up early and we'd go there and we just spend like 2 hours just running around inside this playland, going through all the tubes. And she loved Fear Factor at the time, the original one with Joe Rogan. Yeah. And so we'd play Fear Factor where we would just like swing through things and just it was the most fun ever. I mean, it was great. But
they had a place like that in Destin. We typically go to Florida every year for vacation, and they have a place down, and it's the place where you can hold alligators and eat and do all this nonsense. But they had a bar up watching over the place. They had the drink specials, so I could sit there and have the kids down there. And then once they've had enough of the place, there was also an arcade, and nothing like a little tipsy skee ball.
I gotta tell you, man. When they were like, yeah, you can play in the place, I go, oh, okay. Boom! We took off, man. I was having a blast. I'm like, oh, yeah, crawling through those little tubes. I mean, I felt like a hamster. Oh, dude, that stuff just is like the coolest shit ever.
Dude, I got the most wicked side jag. This is the best fat guy story ever. Have you ever been to the the Great Wolf Lodge hotels where they have the water park inside?
Yeah, I know what you're okay. Yeah. Okay.
They have a water park inside. It's actually a really cool water park.
Yep.
I'm on the water slide. They cut the water off, dude. Cut the water off for whatever reason. They just cut it off. Back burn all the way at my back. I stop in the slide.
I think there's a movie about that where like the smoke is coming out of the end of the pipe.
So my back's burnt, dude. And I just have to do the spider crawl out of there. And they're like, "Oh, someone was in there." I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, and then my wife's like, "Did you get stuck in there?" And I said, "Well, they cut off the water." She's like, "Oh, I thought you just got stuck in there." I was like, "What? I'm not that big. That's a big tube. That's."
Yeah. Oh my gosh, no. So Disney has 2 water parks: Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach. Blizzard Beach is like snow oriented, and Typhoon Lagoon is like, I don't know, like a shipwreck, tornado, hurricane thing came through. But man, that's like, I'm a water park junkie. We will just, but the funny thing is like, we'll do all the rides once and then it's like lazy river. And all 3 of us just like, that's the goal, is to make it to the lazy river. And then we'll just sit there for hours, just going around in circles, just like, oh, look, a cloud.
That's the best. The lazy river is the best. Have you been to Discovery Cove?
Not yet. Not yet.
You got it.
Oh no, we will. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of let all the goofballs get that out of their system, and then we'll go. you know.
Yeah.
So because our Disney pass includes both water parks, so it's like these are paid for. That
Yeah.
is not. Although we
Yeah.
do have Universal and Disney passes, so it's like,
There you go. And what is it? It's part of SeaWorld.
oh no, we've been to. I was thinking of I was thinking of their new place. Yes, we have been to Discovery Cove, where the dolphins are.
Where the dolphins are, right?
Yes,
And the stingrays.
yes, we did that one. That was one of our summer vacations because we did a SeaWorld vacation where we went to SeaWorld, Aquatica, which is their water
Did that
park,
too.
and Discovery Cove. So we did like the trifecta of water parks.
Yeah.
And then we stayed at the Hilton right there that also had their own like little water park there with a lazy river and all that fun stuff. Sounds
Yeah.
way cooler than it actually was. But yeah, that was that because every year we take a vacation as a family because as a kid that was something we never got to do, but maybe twice. And yeah, so it's like we're going on vacation. So that was the vacation one year because the girls had already done it twice and I had never done it, and they were like, "Come on, you got to go touch the dolphin," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to touch." They're like, "Come on, you got to touch the dolphin. You can get dragged through the pool," and I'm like,
Yeah.
not my thing. And they're like, well, it's all the food you can eat all day. Oh, and a bathing suit. That sounds like fun. Let's go do that.
They had the best. They had the best. Lazy river because they had the monkeys and stuff when you're floating through.
Yeah.
That's what I dug. I dug that place. It was cool. But
Yeah. All
our
right.
topic for tonight.
This is a surprise for both of us, or for me and the rest of you, because I have no idea what it is.
We're doing underrated, overrated again. I've got a new slate, and the first one's a banger.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
Yes, give it to me.
Is this overrated, underrated? And remember, there's always appropriately rated.
Yes.
The original Star Wars trilogy.
I'm gonna go appropriate on that one. I think it's appropriate. I think it's appropriate. I think if you watch it now, it'll still hold up, and it is what it is at this point. I mean, it's one of the highest grossing trilogies of all time. It was groundbreaking on so many. ILM and Star Wars created an industry that wouldn't exist if it hadn't happened. I mean, it would eventually have happened, but you would have never gotten Star Trek. You would have never gotten every single movie that ILM made. You wouldn't get the guys that, I mean, think about it. Every time you watch some famous director come up, he goes, yeah, it was Star Wars. Star Wars is what sold me on it, or it was some movie that they did. So I think it's appropriately rated because it is already an iconic film that, it's always going to have its little piece in history.
Yeah, when you explain it that way, I totally see it. Because my point of view beginning was it was overrated slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the story structure and everything's good, but when you actually
any of those,
when you compare movie to movie to movie,
if you dive into a Star Wars movie, you're going to be totally disappointed. You don't need to do that. You got to remember, Star Wars movies were made for kids. Okay, they were made for kids. And you sit back, you watch it, you eat your popcorn, and you go, "Damn, that was cool! Like, how did they do that? That was so cool." And then you move on, and that's all it was. It was like, and it was like even Star Trek. It was like everyone would be like, "Dude, a tricorder? How did that?" And look where and all those things that they did back then are what created the world we live in now. Because you have visionaries that thought, "Hey, this would be cool," and everything since then has just been a different, an updated version of that. So,
did you hear they're talking about maybe trying to get George Lucas back to do one movie outside of a trilogy?
Why? Why? I mean, you can't tell. Dude, haven't we had enough of you can't tell the guy no syndrome for a couple years? You know what I mean? Let's just move on. Let's just move on. Maybe he can direct an episode of The Mandalorian. Let's give him that. Let's start there.
Yeah. I still haven't watched that. Is it over yet?
Nah, this is the last week.
Oh, so I'll pay for it and I'm gonna watch them all.
Yeah, because it's the last 4 episodes from like 13 or 14 on have just been like,
yeah.
This is what we've been waiting for.
They announced so much stuff.
Yeah,
their D23.
Yeah, who cares? It ain't happening tomorrow, so I don't give a shit. Let's be honest. Like, how long we gotta wait? Is this an audio control amplifier? How long are we gonna wait?
Yeah, no kidding. I'll watch that video today. That thing's sweet. That thing is sweet.
Yeah, so we got that because Fernando was doing the Spanish class and they were going to talk about it. So they only got two in. They got the D and they got the LC. And Matthew wanted the D for himself to play with because obviously that's going to be the hotter of the two. And there's more stuff in it that they really needed to get in there and dig in and make sure it's doing what it needs to. So they sent us the LC and we're like, at first they were like, just use it on the show. Don't show it to anybody or anything like that. And then I said, okay, no problem. And then Chris was like, I mean, if it happens to make it into something, I go, okay. Hung up the phone with him. I was like, dude, we're staying late tonight. We're filming this because we literally filmed that night, listened to it, and we were like, this isn't an audio control amplifier. Like audio control amplifiers sound great.
Yeah.
This totally better. Like, it is. They've changed a lot of things in the amplifier as far as routing of the signal and how they've done it. So it's not just like they took like a D61200 or an LC61200 and moved around no, it was redesigned from the ground up as a brand new, like, okay. Cause I mean, if you think about it, those amplifiers existed for like 3 or 4 years now. So when they came out with this amplifier, they're like, all right, let's just start from now and go forward. Because all those other amplifiers existed. So it's like we know we need to evolve as a platform. What can we do differently in these amplifiers that maybe we now that we're far enough into this, we can do? And so they changed it. Not, the thing is the old amplifiers, aka the current models, are phenomenal. Like my favorite amplifiers, bar none. But hearing this amplifier, I'm going, bye-bye, PDX V9. Move over, Bacon. It's time for something leaner. It's like this is the most incredible, like straight power 5-channel amplifier with a feature set that no 5-channel amplifier has.
That's not even the D you're talking about.
No, that's not even this. This is the LC. I mean, the LC is just like crazy. If you guys haven't seen the video on it, go watch it. It's going to make a lot of people happy. There's no question about it.
And I like the way they explained every feature and what person why they might use it and how they might, if you have one channel.
Yeah, that guy that does that's pretty good. I don't know about him.
Yeah, he's not too bad. He also done. Let's talk about one more before we get into.
Yeah, go.
The JBL or
Bass Pro Hub, Bass Hub Pro or Bass Go Pro. I don't know,
dude. I mean, that thing seems totally cool. Who's going to buy that? Like, who's this thing for?
So that was the question that we posed. Okay, so we kind of told the backstory a little bit at the end of that video. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's the video that we put up on the 5-star channel today where we took the boombox that JBL is making for your car. So backstory done there. So when Bill Freeman from MAG Sales brought us the thing, and because he calls me up and he goes, dude, this came in. You want to see it? And I was like, yeah. I mean, why even ask? Just hop in your car and drive over here. Duh. It's because that's what he did for the Fuse. And we're like, let's go live. This thing's awesome. So he brings it over and he pairs his phone up to it. And he's like, check this thing out. Boom, presses play. And it's like, it sounds like every other single JBL Target box you've ever heard. It's like, it's loud. It's in your face. It fills the room with sound. It's like, yeah, this is nice. It's a Bluetooth speaker. I mean, kind of sounds like the Hagtalar, it sounds good. It's, I mean, the Hagtalar sounded better, but it sounds good. And you're like, yeah, this is, and I'm jaded, by the way. That's a total like morale thing. So I mean, they get points they get points for the name. But anyway, so Fernando, as soon as Bill left, Fernando goes, dude, we're not putting this in the car. That with a Spanish accent. And I go, dude, we're totally putting this in the car. He goes, we're not putting this in the car. He goes, let's just box it back up and just pretend. And I go, they're going to ask us, bro. He's like, oh man, yeah. Why? How good could it be? And I go, just relax. I tell you what, why don't we do this? We'll put it in your car. We'll see how it sounds. If it sucks, we'll box it back up. He's no, we'll just film it the way we normally film it, and then if it sucks, we'll just not finish the video. And I go, okay, fair enough. So we shot the first half of the video, and at this point, I mean, I'm deep into this, and I'm like, this freaking better work because we've already put a ton of work into filming this video. So goddamn, I give it to him. He starts wiring it up in his car. We immediately sit down in the car, and his phone just pairs up and starts playing Millie. Okay. Like, I guess that was the last song he was jamming out to. I don't know. It starts playing that song, and immediately that bass note starts dropping. Boo, boo. We're not even in the car yet. Like, he literally, and it's like, what the? Why is there this much bass coming out of your car, dude? And he like, I was like, get in. Everybody, we get in, we shut the doors, and we're like, it's like, and we're like, holy 4-letter expletive back, man. What is going on here? And then he jumps in the back and he quickly folds up the seat because he's like, no. He folds up the seat and he plays it again. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm folding up the seat. I want to see how. And it's like, it was a little bit quieter, not much. And I was like, still sounds fine. He's like, God damn it. I said, all right, let's fold down the seat and let's film, the rest of the video. And oh my God, dude, we got done with it and we immediately called Bill and we said, Bill, you're an asshole. He's like, why? And I said, because this thing sounds absolutely amazing. And he's like, you're kidding me. And I go, no, you didn't think it was going to sound amazing either. He goes, I mean, it's this little boombox thing. How good could it sound? I was like, when are you coming by to hear it? He goes, we'll be there next Tuesday. I said, okay. So he brought him and his boss, Mike Sajecki, over. And the two of them came in Tuesday of this week. And we didn't bother to fold down the seat because Fernando's car seat's in there and it's just a pain in the ass. And the two of them hopped in there. And these are, Sajecki is an audio freak. Okay. He owns the companies. His business, MAG Sales, he owns two companies, a home audio company and a car audio company. And he reps some of the most, like they rep Dine Audio. Okay. In multiple states. He is just nuts about audio. And he got in there and he's just like giggling his ass off. Like, you've got to be kidding me. And I go, it gets better. And we pop the trunk and you see this stupid box sitting back there. And you're like, looks like a freaking alarm clock. You're like, where do I put the cassette, bro? Because it looks like one of those old fashioned little cassette players. And you're like, I go, and this is doing that. He's like, you don't even have it bolted down. I'm like, no, it's literally just sitting in here, facing forward, chilling out. He's like, and when we were thinking about it in the video and we said it at the end, we're like, I don't know who this is for, but luckily in the comments, they answered that for us, which I was kind of hoping they would, because people were chiming in saying, hey, this would be perfect for this, me, and this, it was like, so they were like, this would be perfect for me, and here's why. And it was like, oh, that's great, because a product like this is something that lasts one cycle. Like, they will make this once and then they will get rid of it because it's something that is way left field, like out of nowhere. And no one is going to believe it will do what it does because it just looks stupid. And as a standalone Bluetooth, it sounds phenomenal. Like, I mean, you'd never shake a stick at it. So I'm going to buy one as soon as they become available again and put it in Haley's cart because just to see, so she's going to have to lose her L7T for a little bit, just to see if it's something she can deal with. She's getting ready to start up soccer practice again. So, I mean, the nice thing is, if you think about it, like somebody like Haley that does soccer practice and like they want a radio to play, it's charged all the time. So you never have, like, how many people have Bluetooth speakers and they're like, oh, it's dead.
And that cradle charges it, I guess.
No, it plugs in through power. The cradle's only there to hold it in place. You don't actually have to use the cradle if you don't want to. It's just there to hold it. There's a power plug that goes into the back of it. So JBL has some of the silliest shit ever. And it's just like, I told him, I'm like, listen, I just want to buy, and by buy, I mean, you better give me a good deal. I mean, let's be honest. I just want to buy all these silly little products they have that don't make any sense and don't fall into any category because they are. And it's like JBL has wizards that work there.
Yeah.
It's like there's like the Harry Potter people are all there, like, doing. I've read the books.
I think that what size driver is in it? Did you say
like a 5? I don't know. They don't tell you. That's the other thing about JBL is they give you information.
It's magic. That's what they said.
Yeah, it should just say it's got three drivers in it. It's 100 watts, and there's little fairies that work inside of it and make the magic happen. Don't
What
crack it
would be
open.
it? I got the best boring life video idea. When you put it in the vehicle, you let Haley set up all the parameters.
Hell no.
Because my thought when I seen that is like the person that would buy this is definitely not going to
Never
know
gonna
how to
do
set
it.
this up in a car.
No. That's kind of the only thing that kind of sucked on it was the way they did that. I was like,
Yeah.
this is dumb.
I was like, Dean's explained this very well, and I'm still a little cloudy on how exactly.
Trust me, I was a little cloudy, and I was reading the freaking instructions. It's like, and it times out too fast. It's like I'm trying to explain how to do it, and it's timing out. I'm like,
yeah.
Get the piece of footage, times out again. Like that's why at one point I says, "Oh, and don't be worried, it times out." The nice thing is when it does time out and you power it back up, you don't have to go through the menus again because it stays right where it was. So it's like, if like, what do you want happens, oh, Jesus Christ, and then you go right back to where you were. You don't start from scratch and go, where was I?
That's good.
So that is the one nice thing. So I mean, at least that feature is nice because if like somebody accidentally starts playing with it and pushing the buttons, they're like, stop doing that. Okay.
Well, there's got to be one flaw. There's got to be one flaw, or it wouldn't be a JBL product if it didn't have one.
I mean, let's be honest. Would it be anybody's product? I mean, come on. Everyone kind of sucks.
Scott, appreciate it, my dude.
So anyway, do we have another one?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool. Let's start with your week, man. You've had a busy week. You had, as I see here in the comments, was a DIY audio guy on that I caught all of 5 minutes of because I was, doing something. How did that go?
Oh, it was good, man. We talked about his projects, what he had going on, and I've got a home audio guest tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
He's a speaker builder. He does YouTube, mostly home audio, so that'll be very interesting to people that don't typically mess with home audio.
Yeah, I mean, well, audio's audio. Let's be honest. I mean, it's good sound is good sound. It really doesn't matter where it's at in your home, in your car, or just strapped to the side of your head. But speaking of Jesus, yeah, it's crazy. So, but yeah, it's just been an exciting week.
Yeah, I know that you just need that quick breath. Before we get into the next overrated, underrated, do you have a Dean? Do you have a Dean rant, or was there no time for Dean rants?
So if your only purpose in life is to make fun of other people cruelly, you're a douche. Okay. Like I'm not talking like the Dave Chappelle kind of funny where it's like you point out the obvious like humor in life, where it's like like white people jokes or colored people jokes or Italian jokes. Like those are fine. Like those are just like pointing out the obvious that most of us know. You're just putting a different slant on it. But if you're just the kind of guy that wakes up in the morning and sees something and says, "Hey, you suck," ha 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 ha, just find another place to be. That's all I gotta say. Because this week is one of those weeks where it's like, I've gotten some of that, and it's cool. Like it doesn't affect me as much as it used to because obviously I get that. It's like you can't be where we're at and do this kind of thing if you're not used to getting the double deuces in your face and be like, whatever, it's free, shut the fuck up.
I'll give you a refund. You want your money
yeah.
back?
Where do you want me to send the refund? And it's a picture of my balls. But if people just need to dial it back a bit, I think. And it's like, it's always that thing. It's like the guy that, and then be who you are, be real everywhere you're at. I think that's the problem. And that's, that really, and the other thing too, is as we all know, reactive is just what we all are now. We're just reactive to everything. We just, and we need to not be reactive. We kind of need to be passive for a minute and kind of like look around and like take it all in. And then like, after you've like gone, oh, then react to the situation, because a lot of people, which we all know this, they immediately, they read this much of the story and then they just react to it. It's like,
Yeah.
could you be more wrong? You know, and not only that, why does it matter? Like,
Yeah.
so that's it.
It's the outrage culture. It's
You know, it was a topic we were talking about today. I mean, we talk about a lot of this stuff at work because we have time, and you know, it's just like I don't understand why people have to just constantly just beat other people down. And it's like, so the new thing I'm doing to people that give me grief, I look at them and go, do me a favor, and you all can do this and answer the questions accordingly. Where were you 10 years ago? Explain to me your life 10 years ago that allows you to be where you're at now and comment the way you're commenting. Okay. So dial back my life 10 years. That only means I was an installer for 20 years. Okay. And I had an 11-year-old child. And I was still in the house I'm in currently. And you know, life hasn't changed that drastically. But that's where I was 10 years ago. Where were you 10 years ago? Oh, wait, you were just graduating high school, or you just got out of high school, or you just found out that now you're legal enough to drink beer, or you were playing with G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip, or better yet, you know, you were, you know, still like diapers. So, you know, before you decide to pass judgment on somebody, maybe just put it all a little bit in perspective. And I feel like that go back 10 years and tell me now, it's like, for one thing, it gives you perspective on your life. Like, you know, like I said, that I say it to Haley and her friends all the time, because they'll come in and they'll be like, yeah, we fucking know everything. And you're like, where were you 10 years ago? Where was I 10 years ago? Okay. Now that we've established that, 10 years now, you've learned a lot in 10 years, I'm assuming. Guess what?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's have the conversation you want to have. So yeah. All right. Next topic.
I totally feel you, man. It's much less effort to just kind
just
of have a
beat 'em
little
down.
empathy. Have an empathy for somebody is a lot easier than browbeating.
Yeah. And the other thing too that I've really, you know, anytime something happens in your life that you don't expect, it always gives you time to pause and think and reflect back and just kind of like look at the whole picture and be like, wow. And then there's always that guy, you know, because you're at the top of the tree, and there's always that guy at the bottom doing this shit, you know, and just like, give me a match, I'm gonna burn him out. And you know, you're just hanging on for dear life, trying to enjoy the moment. And you know, you then you realize, like, wait a minute, it's not like I had anything to do with this. You know, I'm a product of this, meaning it just happened to me. You know, when a guy buys a ticket for the lottery, he doesn't expect to actually win. He hopes he'll win, but he doesn't expect he's going to win. But when he wins, all that nonsense now with winning that happens is thrown in his face. And it's like, you're not necessarily prepared for that. You were hoping to get like $500 to get through the week with a case of beer. Yeah. And now it's like, I need to hire lawyers. I need to hire attorneys. You know, I need to, I need to get an investment banker. I need to disown all my friends. I need to change my phone number. On one side of it. On the other side of it, you know, you get patted on the back. You know, it's like the greatest thing ever. Everyone's high-fiving you, you know, and it's like that. You have to concentrate on that side of it and not this little group of assholes over here in the corner that are like just pissed off about it because it's like, and it's like, nothing to do with it, man. It just happened. Happened.
The thing is, if you say something to them, they're like aghast. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you'd say that to me.
Yeah.
Like, did you just read what you wrote? I've realized that, and now I've realized that I can, you know, give them back a quip, something funny, something not harmful, and 50% of the time they kind of come around. Some people, there's nothing you could do with them, but
it's just not worth it though. Sometimes it's like, I don't, on to the next one. The other thing too, that I've come to really is offhanded comments. Anytime you pay somebody a compliment and then you end that with but or and or anything like that.
I don't mean to offend you, but
yeah. Anytime you're naturally already setting up. So do me a favor. If there's something that someone's doing that's irritating you, don't try to compliment them to soften the blow of the smack across the face or the kick in the balls you're getting ready to do them. Just do it. Peel the Band-Aid off and get it over with, because the reality is everything you've just said is bullshit and nobody cares. What you're really trying to say is this amount of other hurtful bullshit that you know nothing about, and that it's your opinion that doesn't mean shit to anyone other than yourself. It's like, you don't need to win me over to your side. I don't care.
Well, Southern women are the best at that. We could leave it at that.
They
can hit the backhanded compliments like crazy. So Derek has a very important question.
Are you getting the $550 Apple headphones? There's $550 Apple headphones?
Yes, they come out with the AirPods Pro.
Are they in-ear things?
No, they're cans.
Really?
Yeah.
It depends. If they're big, then yes. If they're tiny little things that have to sit on the outside of your ears, no. I can't do.
They're big. I can't do.
I can't do any. Like, these are fine because these weigh like this much.
Yeah.
But if it's like anything that just kind of like, no, AirPod Max. Yeah. All right, I'll have to check them out. I'll see them when we're done. But yeah, let's be honest. Duh. Says Apple. Okay. Hold on, let me get my wallet.
Here, just give me that Apple Card, and everything new comes out, just send it straight.
Yeah, we already have one of those. So Anthony's in the house. What's up, Anthony? Yo, hope you guys watched that one. Anthony's My Car Life. So his the guy that owns his store is if you ever watch the show, dude, Junior, this guy is a freaking fabricator extraordinaire. This guy's got talent for days. It's impressive, the stuff that this guy's doing. It's insane. But yeah, okay.
He's definitely got a bunch of cool builds on his channel.
Yeah, Anthony's awesome.
Overrated, underrated, a big 3 upgrade, or appropriately rated.
Overrated for sure. 100% overrated.
100% overrated.
100% overrated. These, I mean, come on, guys. If you screw a light bulb into the sand, it's not going to do anything. If you have an alternator that puts out, if your car is wired appropriately from the manufacturer, okay, and it will help. There's no question about it. Most ground planes in cars suck. So improving the ground plane in the car for what you're trying to add to the back of the car is definitely going to help. It would also be fine if you just ran the power wire to the battery. It would do the same thing. But if you think for some strange reason you got a 120 amp alternator, and by running a 0 gauge you're all of a sudden, guess what? You're going to have a 120 amp alternator. That's all you're ever going to have. It's not going to get any bigger. You're just increasing the ground plane. Oh, you're going to make the tube bigger. That
that and that I would say that in the basehead community, basehead community, I would say it's 100% overrated.
Yes, and that's the problem.
Yeah. Overall, I would say it's appropriately rated because the grounds are what matter.
The grounds are is 100% what matters, and that's the one thing no one talks about. And just like Bobby put in here, except those Honda grounds. Yeah, Honda grounds suck. So it's just improving the ground plane of the vehicle is what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do that, then yes, it's the best. If you're just like, oh, I'm going to do this because no.
And that's most of what it is.
Yeah, it's like, dude, my buddy said I should do the big 3.
Yeah.
So that's one in the mouth, one in the butt, and where's the other one go?
No.
I'm just asking, asking for a friend.
All right, the next one.
Yep.
Second batteries. Auxiliary batteries.
Is that even talked about anymore? I gotta be honest with you. I don't even really we used to do extra batteries all the time. And now if I do I don't know, maybe 4 a year.
Yeah.
I think the reason for the extra batteries not mattering as much is these cars obviously have bigger batteries and better charging systems, and also amplifiers. At least the amplifiers we deal with have evolved and become more efficient. And so the need for the battery isn't as great as it used to be. You know, when you look at like some of these amplifiers that are 800 watts that take an 8 gauge,
Yeah.
I mean, that are like stupid efficient and putting out tons of power. It's like, okay.
I think that in the base head world,
World,
it's a different story. In
correct.
our world, what I would say is it's appropriately rated if you want to demo your stereo without having the car on.
And that's the problem. It's like you kind of have to you kind of have to figure out where you're trying to be. Like, you know, when I get the guy that shows up and says, I want to make a tailgater, and I'm like, with what? And they'll go, I want to be able to play my stereo for 2 or 4 hours while I'm at the football field. I go, buy a diamond box. Let me give you the address to look it up. You know, it's like, you're not going to do that. Okay. Yeah. You're not going to play. I'm like, you understand that, okay, you have a boat. All right. And in your boat, you got 4 batteries and you got 1 amp that's 8 channel powering all these speakers. And you're playing it for, you know, a couple hours at the beach. And then you drive somewhere, which charges up the batteries a little bit. And then you got the little battery switch. So you don't end up on a sandbar, stranded, calling CETO. Are you going to build that in your car? Because if you're not, what's the point? Because you can't play your car. Not only that, when you turn that key on, all this stuff comes on. And car manufacturers are smart enough now to be like, dude, your car's been on for 20 minutes. Bye.
Yeah.
See ya. Bye, Felicia. You know, we want to make sure you could start, stupid. So in there again, that was one of the things we mentioned in the base on the JBL was like, this would make, like, if you've got one of these and your friend's got one of these, or you put one in your car and your wife's car, you can pair 2 of those together. It's like, dude, you're going to be killing it in the parking lot, because I can tell you right now, nobody is going to be louder than you unless they brought their boat with them.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Because all you got to do is wait for the other
audio. It's going to be the loudest.
Yeah. So,
all right, I have another one. Let me hit you with this. This might be more of a question even than just overrated, underrated. Legitimate high-res screens in car audio. And when I say legitimate, I don't mean 720p.
Okay, I mean want like a 1080.
A minimum of 1080p.
Oof. You mean, are we ever going to see that?
Yeah, I know.
Or do we need that?
Well, I figured is there any out that you even know of?
There isn't any out that we know of, because why? So here, okay. You know, we posted the Jensen video, and of course we posted the Kenwood video, and we have the JVC that we haven't shot yet. And, you know, we have the high 10 that everyone talks about. And one of the guys asked the question was like, hey, do you ever think these operating systems will not look so cheap? You know, like the iPad. There you go. Well, yeah. All right. Yeah. But that's not, I get you, Anthony, and you're right. That is better than that, but it's not a radio. There's too much extra shit that has to go with it to go in. So, yes, the iPad is, but the iPad, you can't hook a backup camera up to it. You can't do iData with it. So, I mean, you're limited on it's the fun factor of an iPad. So, and of course, yes, you can put a radio behind it that does all that stuff, but there again, still not what 99% of the people are going to do. So the question is, okay, here's my big screen. Am I ever going to get an operating system that doesn't look like a big mess? And I thought about that, and I was like, you know what? I was using a Chevy today. I was in one of the Chevy SUVs, and they had their little 7-inch touchscreen up there. And I'm just trying to find a basic feature on that. I was trying to get into the sound settings, and there's all these little tiny buttons and icons and shit everywhere. And I'm like, I can't find anything. If I'm driving down the road and I got a little button somewhere and I'm trying to adjust, it's like, no. Dude, we need Duplo buttons on our big ass radios, because those are big Legos for those of you guys that don't have kids. Because you're driving, you don't need a little tiny button over in the corner that looks elegant and sexy. You need a big ass button that's like, touch here. Okay. You know, because you need to drive. You need to stay focused on the road. And if you have all this elegant, it's great when the car's not moving, but it sucks when it is. You know, that's why Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are big and simple and easy to see, because they were like, don't even push the buttons. Just talk. Tell us what you want us to do. You know. So, are we ever going to get elegant looking? Like the Kenwood is probably the most elegant one on the bunch, the Kenwood JVC line, because they talk to each other. But the Pioneer is a stretched version of the existing screen. They just did a rev to the high 10 to kind of shrink it down a little bit, add more buttons to it. So it had a row of 3, now it has a row of 4. And then of course the Jensen it's affordable. So they're not paying someone to design this elegant system. The other thought is if you look back at like the first days of touchscreens, when they had like the Atari operating systems on them that were like basic as shit
with not capacitive, what resistive touchscreens.
Yeah.
The best.
Those were real basic, and eventually they grew into what they are now. Granted, we've had screens for a long time now, but now we're stretching them out to 720 instead of the 480. So it's like, okay, we need to pay someone to come back in and redesign these whole things. Kenwood did it the right way. They're like, look, we're coming out with a big screen. Let's just build a new OS that fits on top of this, and it's going to be totally different than these other ones. It'll look similar because we're not going to go too far, but it's going to be different. And we're going to try to take advantage of some of this real estate. Now, are we ever going to see something like a 1080? The problem lies in this row of people right here, because these are your market. This is your target market. Like the Kenwood is $1,200, okay, for what it is. And it does a ton of shit. And it's an awesome sounding radio, but it's $1,200. All right. That's a 720 screen. Granted, it's like the best screen on the market right now because you can literally be looking at it any way you want and just be like, oh my God, this thing's amazing. So who's going to pay for a 1080 screen that's going to cost maybe $2,200 or $1,800?
Yeah.
So until that screen gets down to that $1,000 price point where everyone seems to be like, damn, that's a lot, but okay, I want the best. We're not going to see that.
Yeah, I'm going to come out with one because those screens ain't that damn expensive.
It's the back end, man. I'm telling you, it's the processor you need to operate that. I mean, dude, these radios are running dual core processors in them.
Yeah.
And they have to develop. You got to figure they have to develop their own operating system. It's not like Apple is making their operating or Windows making their operating system for them. Their Linux is on the Kenwood, and Android is on everyone else's. So they have to pay a software developer just to develop the software or have them in house. And it's like, I mean, these are the excuses they're giving us. This shit isn't cheap. I mean,
and they have the worst software in the game. Car Audio, in my experience, there is a few DSPs that are okay, but their software is absolutely atrocious compared to actual software.
Well, the problem with like the DSP game is that like the software that's on the Dayton. Okay, there's a dozen manufacturers that use that same software pack. Okay, because it's cheap and it's effective and it works. The box sucks. The software is good, or it's all right. So you then have to layer your own on it. So it's like here's the basic software. Now go into it, just like think of it as like a Squarespace website builder. It's like here's the basic page. Now change it to the way you want. Some people will hire people to go in and be like, we want to move this, we want to move that, we want to arrange this, we want to put these here, we want this to do that. How do we do that? Okay, let's do this. And it's like, boom, now you have an Alpine. And then some people are like Dayton, where it's like, we're done. It's all we need. It's Atari 2600, 1980s, perfect.
This thing only costs 150, so they're like,
there's no profit in it at all.
Which brings me to my next question. We led right into it. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. This is the U show because I have no experience with either. Are they overrated, underrated, or appropriately rated?
I think they're kind of underrated. Okay. And so here's the problem. So as an industry, we're idiots. Like we are 100% led by a group of the dumbest people on the face of the earth. Like we take cues from these companies that should not be allowed to give us cues to do things. Okay. Apple and Android have come in and saved the head unit business. Apple has done this many, many times. Apple has saved the car audio. Dude, iPod save car audio. iPhone save car audio. CarPlay save car audio. They're all Apple. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, it was the MP3 player, but not until the iPod came out did anyone get involved, because up until then it was the wild, wild west of MP3 players. It was like, let's just make aux inputs, I guess. And it was like, or we can make a made for Apple piece that everyone has and we can charge more and make profit. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. Let's make some money. So for the end user, you guys don't see the back end side of it. That it's like, we're over here going, oh, thank God Apple's on their game, because like all these other idiots don't know what the hell they're doing. It's like, hey, guess what we're going to come out with this year? What? We're going to have a CD DVD player with a knob. Ooh. Hey, guess what we're going to come out this year? We're going to have a CD DVD player with 4 volts of preamp output. Ooh. Hey, guys, guess what we're going to come out with this year? What? We're going to have a radio with a subwoofer output and a level control built into the radio. Next year, guess what we're going to have this year? We're going to make that subwoofer output 4 volt, but the other 2 that are the most important ones, those are still going to be 2, because next year we're going to introduce a radio that has 6-channel 4 volt output. Damn. Ooh, drop the mic. I'm so dope. That's the idea of the 12 volt industry, making shit that's cool.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, that's what we dealt with from basically 95 to 2005. That was the excitement level right there. And then they're like, when they finally decided to take some initiative, it was like they went there again to an app manufacturer, not themselves. And they're like, hey, is there any way we can get like Waze on our radios? We can kind of do it. Oh, let's do it. And then we can put that on the box. And, and then they're like, can we watch YouTube? I mean, you could just HDMI it into the radio. No, let's do it so they can kind of control it from the screen. You realize like we're going to have to down res the shit out of that, and it's going to look really bad. That's okay. We can put it on a box and it'll say, oh,
okay, our streams are only 480p, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's all right. Just down res the shit out of it. So it's like, but now you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and they make everything easy. All right. Now, as far as we go, now that cars are coming with it, it's like it's become the next thing. So it's like for a minute, we're going to get wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, where we can kind of like, oh, but you don't have wireless. But yeah, who cares? It's like, I need to charge my phone anyways. I'll just plug it in. All right. Well, damn, fine. Go away. It sounds like shit.
Well, they got their wireless charging pad as well. So then they have the wireless. There you go.
Yeah, they have a wireless charging pad, but no wireless CarPlay.
Yeah, that's the trifecta right there.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. So no, for the industry, those 2 things have been huge, simply huge. I mean, right now, like the industry's going big ass touchscreens. Yeah. Like who doesn't want that in their car?
They got me with that though.
Of course, dude, they've always had that. I cannot tell you how many 22-inch drop-down monitors I put in and 15-inch drop-down monitors. Like when it's like a 15-inch monitor and you want a plastic clip to hold that thing up. That clip broke every 6 months. The guy would come in and the screen would just be down all the time. It's like, my clip broke. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. It's a 15-inch monitor and you have little rugrats in the back that are 3 and 4 years old. They're just going, bam! Yeah. It's like, what did you think was going to happen? I mean, and it weighs like 20 pounds. I mean, duh.
They get me with the gimmicks all the time. That the GS9 comes out. It's, how I feel about volume knobs. It's a giant volume knob.
Oh, it's a giant It's a DAC attached to a volume knob.
I mean, I was like, and then I looked at the price. I was like, oh, okay. That brought me. I was in the clouds, and I seen the price, and I was like, okay, that dialed me back down.
Yeah. It was kind of like when Jesse James took that semi motor and turned it into a motorcycle. It's like, that's a GS9. I mean, that's essentially what it is. Hey, can we turn this into a motorcycle? I mean, if we weld off the engine block, yeah, sure. Okay. But the thing is like everything catches up faster now. And these manufacturers are not keeping up pace with these cars. And it's like, there's a few companies that do, like, iData is there again. Their problem is they're so worried about things working perfectly that they're slow. But when they do come out, you're golden. But everyone else, it's like, going forward. And I had this conversation this week with Paul. I'm like, we really have to pay attention to who our partners are, and I don't mean the media channel. I mean the actual store where we conduct business, because this isn't getting any easier to integrate into these cars. It's getting much harder. I mean, we had a 2020 Chevy in tonight, Traverse or something, and it is all ANC, 4 microphones in the headrest, basic amplifier. It's a high level amplifier that's in this thing. It was like, what the frick is, I mean, and it's like, it takes an hour we're just putting a stupid little subwoofer in the back, an amplified P500, but it's like a 2.5 hour install, because we have to go through the car and remove all this or deactivate all this stuff that is going to cause a problem with that subwoofer we're putting in. And it's like, you can't just run a power wire and tap into a speaker with a shitty high level to low level adapter and be like,
yeah, bumping.
Yeah, we're golden, bro. Yeah.
That's why I drive old cars.
Well, dude, we're also working on 2010 Honda Accord. Showed up after that. The ANC is built into the radio. So it's like you got to pull half the damn dash out of the car to unplug the ANC module, because it's like, it's that 1 year in the car where they didn't make it an outboard module. So it's like you got to pull the whole damn radio out and unplug it from the back of the radio. And it's like, but, how do you know that? Yeah.
Until you pull it out, huh?
Well, not only this. Yeah, it's silly. Go ahead.
One last question. We'll end it on this. I think I know where you land on this, but overrated, underrated, or appropriately rated free time where you have absolutely nothing you need to do.
I mean, I don't know what that is.
That's what I expected.
What the fuck are you talking about? We're looking at, like, so we typically take the last 2 weeks, the last week and the first week, from next week through New Year's off. That's not the store, but the channels. We just, social media wise, we just kind of take a break from it. It's like, we'll still do live during the day and stuff like that, but the nighttime posting and the live shows and all the Q&A crap, that just stops, because it's like, I want to enjoy this time of the year, because it's family time, and it's just like, and we're looking at it, and we're like, with the 12 days of Christmas and stuff, I'm like, all right, so we have Jeff coming in tomorrow night, then we have the Saturday show. Tuesday we have Seth from JVC Kenwood coming in on the show, so we're going to do a live show with him, because we're going to be giving away a bunch of JVC stuff. And I'm like, then we have to come back from that, and we still have like 4 more or 5 more days of the 12 days of Christmas to happen. I'm like, dude, when the hell are we going to get a break? What the hell? Why didn't you tell me not to do this?
Why didn't you wouldn't listen?
And why did you tell me, like, we only need 12 days, not 18? It's like, son of a damn it, but it's for a good cause. It's for everyone else's sanity, not mine. It's not about me. It's all about you guys. We want to make sure that you guys have fun.
You did something smart, and you took the free time, or, I consider time with the family free time, because I'm not actually working, and you turn that into something else, something else you can do. And that's the best time, when you just have time, and you're spending time with your family, hanging out, being goofballs. Like, people who have kids out there right now, spend some time with no matter how busy you are, spend some time with your family.
Let me answer this one question here. 25 to Life, who, by the way, one of these days I'd love to meet this guy, because he throws out the best singers there are. I mean, you're awesome. But he said Dean loves to talk and probably loves to hear himself talk. I'm going to tell you right now, that couldn't be farther from the truth. I am not the guy that loves to talk. This is what I do. This is a job. This is just something I do. When I'm not doing this, no, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear myself talk. I want as much quiet as possible. Like, the girls aren't here right now. When I'm done with this, I'm going to go sit out in the living room for about 10 minutes and just be like, no noise at all.
Yeah.
Listen to the Christmas lights do this.
Yeah.
When I drive in my car, I keep it quiet. I don't like to hear, I'm not the guy that's going to be talking all the time. It's just what I do. People ask me questions, I talk. It's okay. But no, I hate to hear my voice. I hear it enough. It's
Yeah.
very annoying.
People that don't do their own videos and edit their own videos don't understand that.
No.
Hey, like when you're doing voiceover, you may say something 25 times, or just hearing yourself talk and cut, talk, cut, talk, cut, talk.
Oh
cut.
yeah, it's so annoying. But even before I did this, I'm not the guy that likes to talk. You know. Now keep in mind, you get a couple iced teas in me. We're in the right environment. Yeah, you know, we're gonna have some fun. But that's merely for entertainment for other people. It's not for me.
This wouldn't be a very good show if you didn't talk very much.
I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, it's kind of my job. I mean, it's like, what are you gonna do? We're gonna talk. Okay, let's talk. You know, I mean, it's like Fernando. It's like, you know, he's not the most talkative guy when the camera turns on, but you turn that thing off, it's like you can't shut up. And you know, we did our digital business card class for Knowledge Fest this week, or last Friday. And he was phenomenal in that class. Like, it was like most of the time it's just me talking because he just like sits there and clicks the next button on the slideshow. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to do more than that on this one because it's like the worst thing ever. It's like us doing a live show but with no questions and no interaction and nothing. We're like a PowerPoint. Oh, it's like having to wear pants. You know, and we played well together. He loosened up and treated it like we were doing a regular show. And it was like, we got done. And I was like, dude, that was like the best one of those we've ever done. That means we're never going to do this again. They'll never ask us back because we just plateaued on how good this presentation went. Great. Good job, bro.
There you go. We're done. Finished on a high note. And that's it. We'll never go back. Yeah. I do like the fact that Fernando, I do this to Derek a lot. It seems like he doesn't do what you want him to do on purpose.
Oh yeah,
just to mess with you.
Oh yeah,
that's my jam right there.
He has, you know, he has this just like the most like evil side to him that ever. But he's the baby face. So everyone's like, "Oh, Dean, why are you so mean to him, man? You treat him like shit." I'm like, "Whoa, slow down." You know, he's gaming you guys like you wouldn't believe, you know? It's like,
he punches me when these cameras are off. He hits me, guys.
Oh my gosh, dude. His best thing, he loves doing it, is he'll get the bags that the radios come in the little tiny bags, and he'll put them behind the back tires. So as I'll be standing there, you know, all stressed out, you know, the car's done, and he'll back up and it's like pow, 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 pow. And I'll be like,
oh, is there an echo in here?
Just keep going. Back this thing out. He'll just be giggling behind his mask now.
All right. Should you pimp anything before you leave?
The only thing I got left to pimp is like what we just talked about, 12 Days of Christmas. Tomorrow night, we're going to have, for those guys watching, tomorrow's YouTube. If you're going to try to figure out where we give you a clue on Instagram, tomorrow we're going to be on YouTube, the regular YouTube channel. And we're going to be giving away the Stinger Radio. We're going to have Jeff Smith for a half hour to go on and talk about it. Saturday is the last show we're doing for 2020, and that's going to be it. And then for the first week of 20, so like Saturday is the last of that. And then of course we still have weeks of stuff to give away. Next week is insane. Like we got a Rockford system. We have we have a Rockford system. We have audio control. We have audio control, we have Rockford, we have Sony, and I'm forgetting we have JVC. So it goes audio control, all the stuff we have from audio control. Then we do then Tuesday is JVC. We have a ton of JVC stuff to give away. And we have a full Rockford system and we have a full Sony system. So the day before Christmas, you get the day before Christmas Eve, full Rockford system. Christmas Eve, full Sony system. So we've saved the two biggest. We opened with the biggest, and we're ending this part of it with the biggest. And then the week we come back after Christmas, we have still days of products to give away. We still have tons of more stuff to give away. So it's like, it's just ridiculous. And yes, my UPS bill is going through the roof slowly but surely. I'm like, and every day I go to the UPS guy, they act like they haven't seen me. I'm like, dude, I was literally here just like 6 hours ago.
Put it on my UPS card, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. What about you? You got your 12
Okay.
days of Christmas going
Yeah,
on?
I'm still doing that. You guys will see me on my channel again tomorrow. But what I want to pimp is I'm booked up next week. I don't know when this show can happen.
Okay.
It would have to be like after Christmas or something. But
Okay.
the Sunday after Christmas, I'm going to Pennsylvania. I'm going to be
Oh,
in a
that's so awesome.
cabin. I'm going to be in a cabin with no internet
Oh
whatsoever.
no, hey, if it don't
There won't
happen,
be
it
nothing
don't
on.
happen.
Yeah.
You know, if you're booked up, man, then we'll just have to wait and do 14 after the first of the year.
Yeah.
You know,
Just
whatever works.
bang them out.
Yeah. Yeah, because Christmas Eve I'll be doing some crazy stuff. So, oh no,
Yeah.
trust me. I told Sue, I was like, I think we might do a Wednesday, but I'm not sure. And she's like, okay. And so it's like, if I tell her, and I was like, nope. High Five Vega just totally ghosted me on this one, man. He booked somebody else way bigger
There
than
you go.
me, and she'll be like,
Take your
oh,
day off.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Steve Mead on.
Yeah. I would, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, no, you're gone. Steve's coming on. Steve, hey, what's happening? He would never do it though. I tell you right now, he would never do it. He is the coolest guy, but he likes his world, and his world is his store. We talked about it, and he's like, "No, I'm right here, man.
I don't blame him.
This is my bubble, and I can work here. Outside of my bubble, I'm not there." And I was like, I can respect that, no problem, man. Because when we had him in Dallas, I was like, dude, you want to come on the show? You want to? He's like, nope, nope, I can't do it, man. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I can't do it. I'm good where I'm at. I'm like, okay, I can understand that. People like that. You're comfortable there.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, you can. We'll talk about this next year because we want to let you guys go. We don't want to take you too long. People got stuff to do. It's the holidays. So let's end this bitch, as they say. We'll be back sometime after Christmas.
Yeah.
Same bat place and not the bat time that we want, but same bat time.
Yeah. We'll be here. You guys know where we are. We are on the
just
internet.
follow High Five Vega because, as you all know, he's the one that controls this bitch.
Later, guys.
See ya.